You're never done learning. That's the topic today. It's a hot one.
This is the Professional Stepdad, a place where we share stories, strategies, and ideas for men just like you to help answer that one important question: how can I be a better stepdad?
Welcome back to the Professional Stepdad Podcast. I'm your host, Franco Zavala. Check this cup out. It says, "Actions speak louder than DNA." It's a Facebook group that I belong to called the Stepdad's Den. I highly recommend stepdads you check it out. It's a really great Facebook group. It's definitely a place for stepdads who are seeking growth and change within their family because they want to get better. This is a place for them to go. I joined the group about a month back, and I definitely love interacting with a lot of the stepdads within the group. So I wanted to share with you today something that happened with me. And this is kind of like a sneak peek into my daily life, and from a stepdad's point of view who's been doing it for 10 years. So I pride myself on the fact that I've done self-reflection and I do the work constantly every single day. I've got a set of routines and habits that I've developed over the years that helps me not only throughout my day, but it helps me own my morning. Yesterday, something happened, and the reason I'm going to share it with all of you guys today is because it's kind of just a reminder to let you know that no matter how long you do this, no matter how much you work on you and your family, there are going to be times where you find yourself slipping up or going back to the old ways of doing things. And yesterday was one of those moments. So over the years, a trait that I've picked up from my father growing up was the fact that I'm condescending, meaning I'm very condescending to my wife, especially when she says things that I don't find intelligent or smart or witty or quirky, whatever. And I've always, and this is, and my condescending tone towards my wife has never been aggressive, but it's always been like kind of like a subtle jab towards what she says that makes her feel stupid. Right? And I did it way more in the beginning than I obviously do now. I don't mean to do it. It's not something that I seek out. I'm not planning on it, but it's an unconscious thing that happens. And sometimes I don't even realize that I'm doing it, right? And yesterday was one of those moments. My wife was saying something along the lines about my wife's a fitness competitor. Yeah, I'll put her picture right up here. But my wife's a fitness competitor, and she's 40, and she's been doing it for 4 years now. And she when she was 38, she decided that she was going to try it, and I had her back. It's a huge commitment. Just so you know, all you stepdads know that if your wife ever gets into the fitness world, or if your wife is in the fitness world, you know it's a huge commitment with time, with being gone, with the way her food habits are. It's a definite commitment. So she was explaining something to me that has to do with a diet program, and I said I was just very condescending to her, almost like I didn't want to hear her, like I was almost tired of her always correcting the ounces or the grams or whatever the conversation was, and unconsciously I started spitting back to her very condescending in a very condescending tone, because I was trying to not one-up her, but I didn't want her to, in that moment, I felt dumb. Because she's smarter than me when it comes to fitness and when it comes to programs and health. My wife, that's what she does for a living. She programs and she knows fitness routines, and she's smarter at it than I am. And as a man, I do not like that for some reason. Now, I've worked on it forever, but I don't know what it was in that moment. But man, at that moment, I did not want her to be smarter than me in the moment. So therefore, I took what she was saying, I turned it around and I threw it right back at her in a very condescending way. And it was uncalled for. It was so uncalled for because she was just trying to help me. So I'm telling you this, stepdads, because again, I've been working on me for 10 years. I've been working on routines and growth and habits for 10 years, and I still find myself in a very vulnerable position to where I'm being honest with you guys, saying like, you still slip up. You still make mistakes, even when you don't mean to, because I love my wife. I love my children. I love my family. And I love the fact that my wife's a fitness competitor. I mean, there's nothing cooler than to see your wife on stage holding a trophy. Again, I'll put it right here. It's amazing. It's an amazing feat for her, right? Because, I mean, she gave birth to 5 children. So the fact that she's even in that position is just incredible to me. And I still found myself yesterday in the kitchen going back at her in a very condescending way, which was uncalled for. And it was uncalled for because she doesn't deserve that. She's so loving and giving and caring and open-minded, and she's been open to the growth and the commitment programs that her and I have created for one another to help keep each other accountable and responsible for our interactions with the children and our interactions with each other. You know, it's very, very possible. Let's see. Yeah, no, I doubt it. But every hour, you know, my Alexa will go off and it will remind me to pay attention to her love language. And I'm doing that because as men, we tend to forget that doing the little things will matter in a relationship. Doing the small little things will matter in a relationship. And yesterday I tried it out for the first time, meaning setting my Alexa for every hour. And at the end of the day, I asked my wife, you know, hey, how was your day? And besides the condescending talk and tone that I gave her, which again, gentlemen, I was aware that I was doing it. And I was aware that it happened. So when I came back into my office and I had a chance to sit down and think about the conversation that I just had with my wife and how I was very condescending with her, I went back and I apologized because I was out of tone. And I'm not proud. I'm not too proud to say I'm sorry, right? But at the end of the day, I asked her how her day was. And she was just like, she was just telling me how amazing she felt and about how much she appreciated the fact that, again, her love language was personal touch. So all I did was just kind of go by her and rub her hand or give her a kiss on the neck or just give her a hug. Just little tiny things throughout the day. I did it every hour. And man, it meant so much to her. And these are the little things that not a lot of people see, but things that we forget as men. So stepdads, do that to your partner, because I'm telling you, if you could, when you understand their love language, you understand how to connect with them. Remember, this is a way of I'm communicating with my wife without even talking. It's a way of communication that is bonding us for further growth. So I wanted to share that with all of you. The fact that this is a never-ending battle. I'm constantly learning and I'm constantly slipping up and I'm making mistakes and I don't mean to. You know, none of us will mean to, stepdads. None of us will mean to do the things that we do. Because a lot of it is unconscious. We don't even realize that we do it. And for a lot of us men, me included, let me tell you something. My dad raised me to believe that I was proud and I was a man, you know, and all these little machismo things that he would drill into me. So one of the biggest obstacles that I had as a stepdad, you know, coming into a new relationship with women around, right? Mind you, because I've got to keep in mind, stepdads, you got to remember this. If you've got teenagers, little girls in your house, girls that will grow up and they're going to have their relationships with men are going to be very, very close and comparable to how you treat their mom. Now, some of you are probably saying, well, you know, I treat their mom amazing, but it's the bio dad that treats her like shit, and that's the reason why my stepdaughter's messed up. No, that's not it at all, guys. I'm telling you, that's not it at all, because no matter what happens from the bio dad side, no matter what kind of relationship that they have with one another, and chances are it's volatile, right? It's a lot of negativity in it. You can choose to not address that volatility. You can choose to not jump into it. You can choose not to feed the fire of that. You can very easily, you can choose to just stay in your lane. Run your house the way you want it to be ran. You cannot change what the bio dad's saying about you. You cannot change the way the bio dad is talking about you. You can't. You just can't do it. It will never work. And the more you attack it and the more you try to change it, the more it'll happen. It's like the bully in the schoolyard, right? You show the bully that it doesn't bother you and that you're just going to continue to do what you do, and that no matter what they do has no effect on what you do, they will eventually go away. If they see that they can't get to you, they'll go away, right? So just remember, however you treat your partner and especially if you have girls and boys, right? My son is learning I'm teaching him respect and opening doors and all the little tiny things that are going to make him a great man. Okay, son, what are you?
Dad, I'm special, talented, respectful, loving, kind, cheerful, brave,
Go on.
reverent, and a good person.
Good. And what does it take to be a man?
To respect women.
Nice. And I have to be conscious on how I talk to his mother in front of him, because that's how he's going to learn to talk to women, right? So yesterday, when not only as a stepdad, I did two things big yesterday. As a man, I walked into the office, realized what I did was wrong. I went right back out and I apologized, and I told her I didn't mean to do it. Came out unconsciously. I will work on harder, and that means I got to continue to do the work. But my son was in the room, in the kitchen as well. So I had to go into his room and I had to explain to him why and what happened, where it came from, and how I was wrong in that moment, and how it was important for me to apologize, and how it's important for me to speak to his mom in a very respectful manner, because I want him to learn that from me, so when he grows up, he does the same. So today's episode is very much it's like an honest moment for me, kind of like, hey guys, I'm screwing up still. Like, I'm still making, that's a huge mistake yesterday. Huge. Because my wife didn't deserve it. She doesn't deserve to be talked like that. Especially because of her heart. She's such an amazing woman. And she's a great mother. And now teacher and cook and short order chef and all the other stuff that moms have become during this quarantine time. I'm going to make sure, as a matter of fact, you guys are getting the vow for me. I'm going to plan today. I'm going to start planning today, like a celebration for her and everything that she's done during this time of quarantine, because, man, she has shown her true colors. And her true colors are, if I was to define it, it would just be love. She's just so outward focused to everybody else. She gets up at 4:30 every morning to go work out outside, so that when the kids wake up at 6:37, she is already done with her workout and she doesn't have to feel guilty about working out later in the afternoon, and now she can put all of her focus on the kids. That's amazing, guys. And she didn't deserve to be talked to like that from me. But again, I didn't mean to do it, gentlemen. I didn't mean to do it. It was a very unconscious thing. I always speak about inherited DNA traits. I got this from my dad, and my dad got it from his dad, and I got it from the men around me and the things that I've done and the stuff that I've seen. From 19 years old to about 28, I was a piece of shit, man. Yeah, I started working at myself as far as personal growth at 25, but I still treated women bad, condescendingly. I didn't respect them. I didn't care. And it wasn't that I didn't want to, because I've got a big heart, man. I do. I'm an emotional man. You know, you put on a good commercial, like a Kodak commercial, and chances are I'm going to cry because I connected with my emotions like that. I learned that in the Army, whether you believe that or not. You know, spending 7 years in the United States Army with your brothers, you'll learn to connect with your emotions in a way that no job on earth can teach you. No moment on earth can bring you. But I still have to mold myself, right? I still have to work on the little things that I'm doing, because every once in a while, that old me will come out. And that old me can't come out, because when that old me comes out, I lose that connection with my family and my wife and the way my children see me. I have to remember that I can't do that. I can't. Which is consistent work that I have to do on me. And for you stepdads out there that have those bio dads in the picture that are constantly coming at you, they're coming at you. Or maybe you're the stepdad. Maybe you're a stepdad in a situation where your partner's, maybe you're a stepdad in a situation where the bio dad is fine, but maybe you brought a bio kid into your blended family, and maybe the real mom doesn't like the new mom, and she won't stop talking shit that way. And your new wife is feeling very uncomfortable because of the way she's talking, and you're trying to mediate the situation. Please stop talking like that. Oh, don't pay attention to her. You got to stop doing this. Don't pay attention to her. But in reality, what you have to do is remember that outside of the four walls of your house, you cannot control what they're going to do. So stop putting so much energy into it. It's going to sound strange, but when something really bad energy-wise comes at you, you can choose to do two things. Absorb it, but if you absorb it, the only thing you can do is give back that same energy. Or you can choose to move. Just let it go. You have bigger fish to fry, gentlemen. Your entire objective is to build trust. That's it. That's what we're talking. Oh, here's that Alexa. There it is. It's going to go off one more time. Hold on.
This is a reminder. Physical touch.
That's my wife's love language, physical touch. So I'm actually going to end this podcast now because I've got something to do. So, like I said, gentlemen, the next episode is going to be completely focused on what our objective in this family is. It's not for the kids to see us as a parental figure and a leader. Although that's what we want to, we want to gain these qualities and traits within the family, right? But all of it, every bit of it, even from the bio parents and from the in-laws and from the cousins and the neighbors, what we're trying to do is build a level of trust that expands out to everyone so they can put full faith in the fact that you got this, that you're okay, you got this, you can do it. And it's not an easy road, and it's a complicated road, and it comes with a lot of obstacles. And this is all going to stem back to working on you every day, constant self-reflection, owning your mornings, setting your daily activities and goals. Speaking of that, so I've got this sheet here. You guys can't read it, but it's basically my morning commitments that I have for myself, and I'm going to make it into a PDF format, and I'm going to make it available to anybody that wants it. And you can just down here, you can email me and ask me for a copy of this PDF, and I'll easily send it to you. And this is just things that you can do. And this is just a way to own your morning. It's not overwhelming, and it keeps you focused and connected. Okay, so I've got to go see my wife in the kitchen. Gentlemen, thank you for listening to me. I enjoyed just being able to be vulnerable and honest with you in this moment. And to let you know that no matter how much hard work that you do, there's still going to be slip-ups. But I'm telling you, as a professional in this business, and when I say business, I mean the business of being a stepdad. As a professional, I can tell you that if my mental faculties and if I hadn't put in the initial work in the beginning, I would have never been able to be aware of it yesterday and to immediately fix it by just apologizing and saying my bad. Okay, guys, I'll see you next time.